Greetings, cringers. Long time no see. Which might actually be a good thing because the Pokemon Unite community is full of morally ambiguous people who should not be fucked with. But do you know what is worse than that? That's right. It's crowd control. For the uninitiated, crowd control is a blanket term used to describe any move, condition, or bullshit that negatively impacts your playing experience. Examples include, but are not limited to, slows, stuns, and knockups, among other things that'll make you want to turn your controller into Apollo 11.
But how can I harness the power of crowd control to inflict the most mental damage on my opponents?
You may be wondering. That's easy. Mamo Swine. Sure, there are better CC Pokemon out there who you might find more annoying to deal with than Mamo, but are they as funny? A lot of them just make you feel bad as you watch their health bars slowly whittle away to nothing, but Mamo puts the fun into annoying. Don't believe me? Let me show you what I mean by telling you a story about hardship, perseverance, a comeback, a fumble, a triumph, and a little swine-up that could. But this isn't just my story, it's the story of a team whose fuck you Gengar. Anyway, a team whose composition is the complete antithesis to fun. Our bot lane is Pikachu and Swinub, which should be very difficult for the other team to play into. However, we would quickly come to realize that may not be the case as Sergeant Simeon is KIA, but I'm able to get a trade onto their bird as he sits there stunned as if he's actually committed a murder. I am also very nearly able to make the countdown timer appear on this Slowbro screen, but he just gets away. It's time for 850 birds, and with my rat so underleveled, it's important that we secure some farm here to help him get ahead. With a fed Pikachu, we should be able to start some momentum in this lane, and with our Gengar's help, get the ball rolling very quick. Fuck you Gengar. Anyway, my monkey is now level 5, so now all that is left is to get me to level 5. However, apparently right now is a great time for everyone to fuck off, and I don't know what is more upsetting, that I'm still a nub, or that my Gengar, who is the reason I'm still a nub, is now giving that XP to the other team for free. On the bright side, the rat escapes from orange-occupied Thea Sky Ruins with a blue buff, and I make sure the south flank can't cut him off on his way to safety, and their bird almost gets evicted from bottom lane for a second time. Our next fight would prove pivotal in this game, as we get a pick on an unsuspecting Slowbro and I finally evolve. It was at this point that the bot lane became a hellscape for the other team, guaranteeing death for all who approach it. Our Suicune comes to see how the basement dwellers are doing down here, and as it turns out, very good for us once he showed up. That was until I maybe accidentally on purpose pushed a Scizor towards Sergeant Simeon because I thought it would be funny. And it ended up losing us the lane. But no good story is complete without some hardship and odds to overcome. Things would start to move smoothly as we made our way deeper into the mid-game. A fight in the top lane would net us 2 kills. And a third would soon follow as Lucario got a little too curious. We would then go on to score some very nice points. However, this was where things started to take a sour turn, and it would start in our jungle. The enemy team took the nuclear option to wrestle back momentum, and it worked. They were taking picks as they pleased, and it took our entire team to take down one Scizor. I watched as they violated my Gengar's personal space. They were working cohesively to secure objectives, and it seemed like the odds had become insurmountable, but for one glimmer of hope. They forgot what time it was. With all of our goals broken, and our spirits shattered, there was but one thing we could do. One last throw of the dice, and the answer was in front of us the whole time. It was all we had left, but it was all we had to do. And it was to crowd control the shit out of them. This was a story about hardship, perseverance, a comeback, a fumble, triumph, and a little swine-up who could.
Boogeymamo, that's cool, and I would what do a sign of this have to do with Mamuswina.
I can smell you thinking. I don't know, I just thought it was cool. But the moral of the story is that no matter how bad a situation is, how insurmountable the odds, the great equalizer in a game of Pokemon Unite is just a shit ton of crowd control if the other team gives you the fight. But you didn't come to see a team win one fight using crowd control to win the game. You came to see one man inflict as much mental anguish on the enemy players as possible, and that's what you're gonna get. Our bottom lane gets off to a good start because our jungler doesn't give me a reason to hate him off rip. But upon reaching bot lane, we are transported back to 2022 with the other team playing 1-1-3. This makes it difficult to secure farm early game, and it put us a little behind. Our jungler for whatever reason decides ganking this lane is a good idea. I think I'll score the Absol 1 out of 10 for idea, and 1 out of 10 for execution, but we are at least able to get a pick on the enemy Sobble. Hoopa decides to check up on us basement dwellers for 850 birds. We're able to get big, but we haven't quite got enough XP out of this lane to evolve yet, and I would stay that way for a while longer. Then suddenly, I went from unthreatening to the other team needing to treat me like the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Because when they got close, funny things like death by bullshit started happening to them. My team is absolutely dominating, and it never got any better for the enemy team as we continued to pressure cook them through the mid-game. However, it would take some time for me to hit level 9, but it was of little consequence because my ult does next to fuck all and my team is more fed than I am fed up with playing the same map for the last 2.5 years. Please Timmy, just give us 500 point mode in ranked already. Anyway, their Slowbro gets caught napping in the Midular area and I give him a one-way ticket to Texas where he's forced to flash back to safety. Their Blissey was not so lucky as they are forced to ult out of mid, just to die anyway while the HR department of my team tells their Gabite to look for employment elsewhere, before I jump their fence and make their Slowbro go to sleep for the next 9 seconds. My team is able to break their top tier 2 and I get fed up with not being big and strong like the rest of my team, so I go back to base to murder a Baltoy and Headbot to relieve my Bingus of tank duties. Because tank players spend half the game doing sweet fuck all while hugging bot tier 1. I don't have anything exciting to show you, while the rest of my team has all the fun pushing Lecky into their base. I get fed up with playing properly and go mid to play properly, peeling my Mew from yet another one of the finest Slowbro ults I've had the pleasure of witnessing, before materializing in the enemy team's base and adding salt to the wound. Upon my resurrection, I head to the top lane to be a tank again. I find the neutral Baltoy and try to fight it, but I have my ankles broken 4 separate times by it before Leafeon turns up and tries to score some points. Unfortunately for him, I just used all my skill issue up on that Baltoy, so I proceed to give him Mamoswine related nightmares for the next 3 weeks. My team appears to be having a lot of fun in the bot lane, so I head down to see what game they're playing, and I think it was called Pin the Tail on the Slowbro or something. Anyway, their whole team is dead and it's 220, so I think our win con is to thundercunt it into their bot tier 2, but we are so fed it doesn't really matter except for the part where I can't quite save Bingus from the firing squad. It was of little consequence though, as we continued to assert our dominance over them until the game ended. And there is how you ruin someone's evening with the power of crowd control. Thanks for watching.